Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Thursday, the 1st of February and Friday, the 2nd of February, 2018. As usual, we will not do a separate market preview for Friday as most of the week has played out at that point in time. So we will focus on what's to come for the rest of the week. We just finished a two-day Fed meeting. We got the announcement. There was no rate change. Markets have slipped a little bit over the last couple of days. Let's go through the major indices. Then we'll look at the intraday action, take a look at the economic data that's still coming out the rest of the week, and go from there. So here's the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market in futures form. Slipped a little bit, actually closed about even, to be honest, in the end of the day for the session. Let's take a look at the crude oil number, 64.77. That's up 27 cents, slightly off the highs of late. Gold up $6.30. Looks fine. S&P cash index ends up closing up 1. So there really wasn't much to it. NDX up 19. Remember, we gapped up for once and then came back and basically filled the gaps and closed slightly up for the session. SOX up 11. Not a big deal. The biotech's down 67. This is not good. As go banks and biotechs, so goes the market. The VIX, on the other hand, was down $1.22 after crossing over 15 the prior session. Trend at 1.05. That puts the 10-day moving average at 0.94. NASDAQ volume 2.4 billion shares, one of the heavier volume days that we've seen in a while, so there's nothing problematic about that. We've got the advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ was negative 883. That means 883 more stocks down than up on the NASDAQ for the session. And remember, that's with the NASDAQ up 19. But on the New York, it was plus 173. So with the S&P up 1, there were more stocks up than down. Google up $4.85. That keeps it near the all-time highs. Apple up 46 cents. Apple has sold off in the last few days. Amazon up 13.07, and we get a 13 sell signal today on Amazon on the daily chart. That's a seeker sell signal. Netflix down $8.50. Okay, Tesla up $8.49. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, was up 72 cents, closing at 122.73. Goldman Sachs down $1.05. Let's take a look at the intraday action. So here's the 5-minute candles. Again, not as exciting as the first 2 days of the week. Gapped up, very slowly drifted down. Didn't fill the gap till after the Fed announcement. The Fed announcement didn't do much, and as you can see here, we ended up closing about even. On the NASDAQ side, you were lower with 30 minutes left, negative for the day after filling the gap, but then recovered part of that in the last 30 minutes and closed slightly positive. But again, not a very eventful day compared to some of what we've seen of late. All right, in terms of economic data, it's coming out for the rest of the week. Let's take a look at that. So on Thursday, we've got the Challenger job cuts at 7:30 a.m. Got non-farm productivity and unit labor costs. The weekly unemployment claims at 8:30. That's an hour before the bell. We've got final manufacturing PMI at 9:15. That's 15 minutes into the market. ISM manufacturing PMI 30 minutes in, along with construction spending. Got natty gas an hour in, and total vehicle sales will come out after the close. On Friday, we've got the unemployment rate with the non-farm payroll number. That's a big one. That's an hour before the bell. At 10, we've got revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment. We've got factory orders, and that's it. So that'll wrap up the week. That's about it. I mean, it's been a decent week. I think Monday and Tuesday were better. We didn't get really a lot of movement out of the market after the Fed announcement on Wednesday. So whether that means Thursday will show us some action because that's behind us now and there's some data, or are we waiting for the unemployment number on Friday? The other thing to keep in mind, though, is that today, Wednesday, was the last day of January, which means the statements have printed. So with that behind us, usually they can move the market a little bit if they want. January ends up being a green month, despite the fact that the first 3 days of the month were also up. So we broke the January effect. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading Thursday and Friday.